Four of Alfred Hitchcock's classic films have finally gotten the 4K treatment. Rear Window, Vertigo, Psycho, and The Birds have all been restored and transferred to 4K Ultra HD. And I have to say, this collection is just fantastic. 1954's Rear Window stars Jimmy Stewart as a recuperating news photographer who is confined to a wheelchair and watches over his neighbors and believes he's witnessed a murder. The film co-stars Grace Kelly, and it's a wonderfully done mystery. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It still holds up extremely well. 1958's Vertigo stars James Stewart as an ex-police officer with an extreme fear of heights who is given the task of preventing the suicide of an old friend's wife. But of course, this is Alfred Hitchcock, and not all is as it seems. This film is haunting, and it is known as one of Hitchcock's masterworks. I wholeheartedly agree. It's extremely well done, just like Rear Window, and this is definitely more up my alley because I've always been more of a fan of the psychological horror films. So I truly, truly enjoyed Vertigo, and again, this holds up very, very, very well. Now, who doesn't know 1960's brilliant Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates? This is my favorite Hitchcock film. It's so well done. The fact that the first half an hour of the film is a red herring is just... I'm blown away every single time I watch it. Of course, it's known for its infamous shower scene, which horrified audiences back in the 60s. But there is so much more to this film. It's still so effective, and I can't compliment it enough. If you haven't seen it, please, please, please go watch it as soon as possible. 1963's The Birds stars Tippi Hedren, who finds herself in the middle of a love triangle before these monstrous birds start attacking the town of Bodega Bay. Now, I don't really remember this film being as slow as it was during this viewing. I remember it moving a little bit faster, but for some reason, I just felt like it moved very slow until that fantastic, effective scene where the birds just start to gather en masse in the schoolyard. And that's an extremely, extremely well done scene. And then from that point on, the film completely just horrifies. But until up to that point, I found it to be just a tad slow. I might be in the minority on this, but that's just the way I felt. Still, it's a very effective film from the master, Alfred Hitchcock. The Alfred Hitchcock Classics collection comes in a very nice digibook packaging, with each film getting its own section. Each section has very nice photos from the film, as well as a quote, and it lists all the bonus features on each disc. Each disc has a multitude of bonus features. They're all very insightful. You get a lot of nice behind-the-scenes tidbits from each movie. It's just very, very well done altogether. I don't think they could have put together a better collection. I know Hitchcock has tons and tons of movies out there. There's a lot they can do, but in terms of what was the priority of restoring and transferring over to 4K Ultra HD, I feel like these four films were the perfect place to start, and they all benefit extremely well from the 4K treatment. The only thing I'll say is that out of the four, I feel like The Birds was probably the weakest of all of the presentations. I felt like a lot of the shots looked soft when given the 4K treatment. I feel like the detail in some of the scenes was just not there. And I'm not sure that the HDR really did that film a lot of favors compared to, let's say, for instance, Vertigo, where the colors just popped and fine detail was just incredible to look at in that film. And even in Psycho, I noticed things that I hadn't noticed before. And it's important to note that with the 4K collection, you get two different cuts of Psycho. You get the theatrical cut and you get the uncut version, but the uncut version really only has a couple of seconds that were not in the theatrical cut. And those are, it's nothing too graphic. It has nothing to do with I think there might have been one shot of Janet Leigh that wasn't in the theatrical cut, and then there was a little bit of an extension of a murder scene in the film by a few seconds. But still, it's nice to finally have the uncut version released. I believe it was released on Blu-ray as well. And overall, I'm extremely pleased with this collection. I believe it's a must-own for anyone who's got a 4K player. Go out and grab it. It's at a great price right now, and I'm sure when Black Friday rolls around, it'll be even more discounted. You've got to own this release. 100%. Highly recommended. I know that I'm more than happy to add it to my ever-growing collection of 4K discs, and Universal did a top-notch job with this presentation. So go out and pick it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all next time.